I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, Dr. Ray, for inviting me. I come from Washington State Department of Health, and I'm here to talk about prevention of these chemicals in childcare facilities. I lead a non-regulatory program, which is called Washington Choose Safe Places program. Our mission is to screen for, identify, and address environmental exposures at existing and future early care and education sites to prevent and reduce harmful exposures to children. The Choose Safe Places program is a statewide initiative led by Washington State Department of Health. We are funded by ATSDR, a branch of CDC. ATSDR created this program to encourage careful consideration about where to locate early care and education sites away from these chemical hazards. This program gives us a framework to adopt practices that will make sure that kids are away from these chemical hazards. One focus area of concern is to assess potential risks to children living near former dry cleaners and prevent vapor intrusion exposure. So we developed an online map tool to help childcare providers to find their proximity to a current or former dry cleaner. These data are available to the public and are hosted in the Environmental Health Disparities Map or Washington Tracking Network. There is a link source at the bottom of the slide. Anybody can look and see the data. It is estimated that thousands of former dry cleaners in Washington are in the state of Washington. For many of these years, these businesses use PCE as the cleaning solvent. Businesses frequently spill or dump their cleaning solvent, which left contamination in the ground. Our priority is to evaluate and address children's exposures to TCE and other contaminants of concern. So we map over 2,300 current and former dry cleaners. We identify 80 childcare facilities within 300 feet of a former dry cleaner and 466 childcare sites within 300 and 1,320 feet. Some childcare facilities are sited in the same location where a former dry cleaner used to be. The gray dots are the licensed childcare centers, and red triangles are the former dry cleaners. We don't know where all the former dry cleaners are, but we know some. Let me give you a few examples of historical dry cleaners. This site is called Pro Cleaners in proximity to La Petite Academy. This dry cleaner has been operating at this location since 1989 for about 35 years. It's located in Milton, Washington. Preliminary investigations since 2007 indicated that soil and groundwater in the vicinity of the former Pro Cleaner site were impacted by dry cleaning solvents at levels above cleanup standards. And below is a map of the monitoring wells measured in groundwater in November 2023. It shows the groundwater flow direction from the southwest, and these are shallow wells. The levels range from 5.2 to 15 micrograms per liter, which exceeds the cleanup levels of 5 micrograms per liter. No indoor air data has been collected. We don't know if indoor air is an issue. Our concern is that the child care facility is sitting there in the direction of the groundwater plume at high levels of PCE and TCE. Another example is the former Frankware cleaners. This dry cleaner operated from the early 1940s to roughly 2000 for about 60 years. And then it was demolished. It was located right next to a child care center. During many of those years, the dry cleaner used PCE as the dry cleaning solvent. As a result of past dry cleaning operations, PCE has been detected in soil vapor, indoor air, and groundwater, and adjacent to the site. The levels of PCE exceeded the indoor air cleanup levels. In 2012, Department of Ecology installed an underground mitigation system. This system has been effective at removing contaminants from the soil and groundwater. Recent data show that the levels of contaminants in the indoor air are low but continue to be present. Surprisingly, benzene is showing up in the indoor air at low levels and in the soil gas. We don't know where the source of benzene is coming from, but we are looking into it. While the results show some contaminants in indoor air, our review finds that breathing in the amounts found is not harmful to children or workers at the child care center. So why is this important? Because we are concerned about the legacy, the history of these contaminants. When former dry cleaners are redeveloped, the legacy of contamination remains for decades. And historical PCE, as we know, releases that can impact the soil, the groundwater, and the indoor air. It doesn't break down easily. It can stay in the soil, groundwater, and indoor air for a long time. Thank you for your attention.